lovelies, Kukri here with another Sims 4 decorating challenge. This one is hosted by Sensational Builds. I will link to her Instagram and YouTube in the underbar so you can go check that out and check out this awesome challenge. The winner of this challenge will actually receive a copy of the Dream Home Decorator Pack, which is really exciting. The challenge closes June 1st, so not a lot of time, but hopefully you can hop on and check it out because it's really exciting. The concept is just to turn this dollhouse setup into a cozy little coffee corner where this sim named Jen can just go and drink coffee in the mornings and enjoy like the nice window and natural lighting before she starts her day. I actually feel really dumb because you're able to download Jen from the gallery, and I did, and I used her in like some screenshots, but I didn't look at her traits. Normally I would design a space like around a sim's traits, and I didn't even look at them, so I don't know what kind of person Jen is, but I went for a very light, breezy, I went with kind of a like mint green color palette. That was actually kind of hard to match in like all of the items, so I wound up with like blue, green, and that like minty green that's somewhere in between, but I like how it all came together. I'm having way too much fun with decorator challenges, although I am still kind of struggling to like actually post them. I was doing this challenge and I actually made a room, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a day, come back and look at this, see if I really like it before I upload it. And then I never actually uploaded it for the challenge, and I ran out of time, which was stupid because I had made an entry and I was actually making another entry for that same challenge, and I just never could be happy with what I was making. I was trying to do a yellow kitchen and I was so excited. I have always wanted a yellow kitchen. When I was really little, our kitchen was yellow in the house that was like the first house I can remember. We moved a lot when I was a kid, but like my first house that I was old enough to really remember, we had the coziest little yellow kitchen, and from that time forward, I was like, I am going to have a yellow kitchen someday. And so I was so excited to do this yellow kitchen build, and I was recording it so I could share it with you guys, and I hated everything I came up with. So that was fun. Still not in like the most creative headspace, but I keep pushing myself to do these, and sometimes I like them. I'm happy with how this one came out. I don't think I'm gonna win by any means. It's not like a stellar room decoration, but I think it came out nice. It's a pleasant space. Once again, I went a little more sparse, less cluttered, kind of open and bright. This is what I like, especially right now. I think this is good for me, even if it doesn't always work out and I bail on a look before I finish it. I'm so excited for the new pack. I really hope it plays well. The concept is just so solid. I am wondering how much building is going to be involved. From some of the things, I didn't watch like the live stream, so I should probably do that before I like make comments on the new pack. But I've just watched a few of the like little things The Sims has come out with like on their Instagram, and I'm honestly wondering if we're gonna have to do some like real building. I mean, even in the trailer, it implied having to change the shape of the space and like add in a closet, and so I'm intrigued. I'm not a builder at all, just a decorator, and even that I'm not like stellar at. But like I really enjoy decorating. Building stresses me out. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm really excited to try out the pack. I'm so stoked to make a video about that. I'm counting down the days. I'm really glad. Something I appreciate is that Sims does not announce stuff too far in advance. Like, they told us about this pack about 2 weeks before the release date, right? That is so perfect because it gives us time to like get hyped and talk about it online and like decide whether we want to buy it. But it's not too long. There's so many games right now that I'm just like waiting to come out, and they keep getting pushed back, or we don't even really have a release date. We do have a release date for Sunhaven on PC. I've talked about Sunhaven a few times. I don't know if you guys remember. This game is so amazing. It's kind of Stardew Valley with magic, and I think a bit more combat than Stardew has. It's got some more like RPG elements. I'm so excited. I backed their Kickstarter and actually took quite a high amount. I backed it like $20 or $40. And for my birthday, my parents put in more so I would get more of the like gifts, you know, the Kickstarter tier. They raised my Kickstarter tier. That's what I'm trying to say. Which I just thought was like the coolest birthday present, and like my name's gonna be in the game, and I'm really excited about it. So if you guys get Sunhaven, look out for Kukri. But it will release June 25th on PC, and they pushed it back 4 weeks. Which I'm not mad when game companies push back a release date, because that to me says they care about having a quality product on launch, and they care about their staff to not like push them to extremes to meet a deadline. And I support both of those things. But it's still like really disappointing when you want the game. And they're not even looking at their Switch launch until they finish their PC launch, which is fair. I know that doing a Switch launch is like a whole other thing. But I keep struggling because I'm like, I could contact them and tell them to change my code to a Steam code rather than a Switch code so that I can start playing it on release day, which I really, really want to do. But I also know I'm going to like it better on console. I'm just such a console player. I really am. And I don't want to like play 20 hours and then start over. Like, I played Stardew Valley to death. I loved Stardew Valley, but then I kind of felt like I was done and I didn't want to play it again. So I'm like, do I want to get it on PC and just play it on PC? I really want to play it on Switch, but it's going to kill me not to play it on release date. I might be talking myself into getting it on PC because I really want to play that game like the second it comes out. But also, it's multiplayer, and I think my mom and I are gonna like set up a farm together, and she's gonna play on Switch, so I should probably wait till she starts. It's a whole struggle. Like, I don't know. I haven't made an official decision, but if I'm going to, I need to reach out to them soon to tell them I want a Steam code instead of a Switch code. So I don't know. I just really want to play Sunhaven like right now. I'm not patient. I've started watching like more of the trailers and like commentaries on Coral Island, I think is what it's called. It's another farming sim, but in this one you can also like dive off the coast of the island, and there are like mermaids, and it looks really cool. And now I'm like obsessing over that one, and I'm like, okay, when's that one gonna drop? I'm waiting for too many games. And I'm not patient. Like, and there are so many games in my backlog that I'm like, what am I doing? Just play the games you own. And I have so many like games that are already out that I want to get. Like, I have a gaming problem. It's fine. The funny thing is, actually the past few days, I've really been reading, which has been good. It's been a while since I've I've had books going, where I'll read like a chapter or two every day. But the past couple days I've read for like hours, and it's felt really good. I finished rereading the Del Toro Quest series. Well, I mean, there's Del Toro Quest, which is 8 books, and then there's Del Toro Shadowlands, which is 3 books, and then there's Dragons of Del Toro, which is 4 books, so it's 15 books overall. And I finished the last book of Dragons of Del Toro, yesterday. So good. So the Del Toro books are some of my favorites. I think I've read them like 30 times. I don't even think that's an exaggeration. I read them for the first time when I was 9, and they became instantly some of my favorite books. And I reread them like once a year, at least. I love them so much. And then I read Noel Stratfield that I'd never read. I discovered Noel Stratfield last year, and I've read like 10 of her books since then, because I'm obsessed. I love her books so much. They're weird. They're hard to explain. She wrote Ballet Shoes, which was actually turned into a movie. It's just kind of slice of life about kids in England working as like actors or dancers, or just like kids working in the entertainment industry. And it goes into some of the like technicalities of like licenses they need to get and permissions they need to get and how their education works. And I don't know, it's really interesting. This one I just read is called Movie Shoes, and it's about some kids from England who go visit their aunt in California, and one of them winds up working in a movie. One of them wants to be a dancer, one of them wants to be a pianist. I don't know, they sound really boring, but they're super interesting. And like she was writing them in like the mid-early 30s, and so World War II broke out as she was publishing this series, and so some of them are about like how the entertainment industry worked during the war, and then Movie Shoes is like right after the end of the war, and it's just really interesting. It reads like historical fiction, but it was contemporary when it was written, which is my favorite kind of historical fiction. I really like contemporary fiction that's 100 years old, so it's no longer contemporary. Like, that is my ideal, because then it's not written like, let me inform you about the past, and it doesn't have weird like modern sensibilities pasted onto the past. You just really get to see like what a certain person thought of the time they were living in, and I find that really interesting. Anyways, now I'm reading Catch Me If You Can by Frank Abagnale. I think Abagnale. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Even though in the movie he like goes over how to pronounce it several times, and I struggle with pronunciations. So far the book is really interesting. I enjoyed the movie, and the book is kind of, I mean, it's different, but it's a lot of the same cons, and so I don't know, it's been really interesting to actually read it like from his perspective and see the truth of what happened. I definitely want to read more like true stories about con artists. That is a thing I'm super into. Anyway, back to the decorating. I like how this room came together. I don't love, I've got the counters with the like coffee machine thing, and I had to change that around because you have to have a coffee grinder too to use that. And I wish I'd gone through some of the other things, because I think some of the coffee makers you don't have to have a grinder. I never drink coffee in The Sims. I don't drink coffee in real life. Don't drink it in The Sims. Didn't really know what I was doing. So you'll see in like the final shots, I kind of moved that around, and I wish I'd tweaked it a little bit more, but I think it came out okay. I still like the colors. I like the way it all came together. I think it looks like a cozy space. Let me know what you think, and if you wind up entering this contest, I would love to see what you come up with. So I'm gonna go into the final shots. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye!
Coffee time. My dreamy friend, it's coffee time. Let's listen to some jazz and rhyme and have a cup of coffee.